So did you play with any dolls?
Yeah, Action Men. Yeah, absolutely loved them. Yeah. I bought a boot in to remind myself of that. So I had about 6 from about 1971 to about 1979. They were well, it was action stations for them, really. Yeah, superb.
So thinking of your Action Men, can you describe them? How many you had, what you had?
Well, I think at its high point, I probably had 6, I would say, who had different names, all around all sounding a bit like Ronald McDonald, but none of them were actually called that, because McDonald's didn't exist in the UK at that point, so I had no notion, but they had those sort of rounded names that were understandable. But I can't. No, they were in a sort of pack. They were a group, like a commando unit. They were a very tight team. Yeah.
And how did you come to own them?
Just used to get them as Christmas and birthday. It was the optimum present, really, to get either Action Man uniforms or a new Action Man, and you could buy them in a different guise. So I can't actually remember which ones I had, but no, I really can't remember. They'd have been military types, but they used to come as in a uniform, or they could be a sort of sports, or they could be deep sea diver. So they come with a lot of equipment too. Well, it wouldn't come with it; you'd have to get it. But every Christmas on TV, or run up to Christmas, things were advertised on TV to chime with whatever new Action Man was out. And the major innovation was that you might have started off with ones with fixed position hands, and the right hand was in a trigger position, and the left hand was in a muzzle support position. But that was changed in the early 70s to gripping hands, so they were have more utility. That was quite an innovation.
And how did you play with them? What sorts of games?
Usually imaginary missions. Either in the winter it would be almost certainly inside, and in the summer they'd spend a lot of time in the backyard garden, buried. They'd have camps, or they'd be hidden, or they'd be fighting the next door neighbours. They'd been in a sort of team engaged in warfare with next door. So that was, yeah, they spent a lot of time outside getting very dirty with all their equipment.
And how did you feel about them?
Yeah, they were, I loved them, yeah. In fact, getting rid of them was quite a wrench, and although I felt incredibly rich with the £5 that I probably got for them all, it really, it's a shame, because a lot of things I haven't got rid of, but I did get rid of those. I spent it might have been £9, and I immediately bought a digital watch. So I'd moved on. So yeah. Well, this is one of those I'd say pre-1971 Action Men with the hands were in the fixed position. So he's got a rigid trigger finger and a rigid hand for holding the barrel. So I think in the early 70s they changed to having gripping hands, which then became a fantastic innovation, meaning you could hold multiple tools and all the fingers could articulate, and so could the thumb. The issue with that was that they broke. They became broken on the inside of the knuckles, and so fingers would fall off. Fortunately, in Brighton, in this very street here, there was the Dolls Hospital, where you could get that problem rectified and a new pair of hands put in, so that your Action Man would work.